Imagine this. Your child picks up a teddy bear, whispers, "I had a bad day." And the bear actually answers back with, "I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Do you want to tell me what happened, or should we play a game to cheer you up?" That's not science fiction anymore. That's artificial intelligence in toys. In this video, we're going to explore how AI is showing up in children's toys, what kinds of products are out there right now, why they can be incredibly fun and even educational, and also the serious risks and dangers we need to think about as parents, caregivers, and just people who care about kids. By the end, you'll have a balanced view and some practical ideas for using AI toys wisely, rather than letting them use us. Let's start with a simple question. What do we actually mean by AI in toys? At its core, artificial intelligence in toys means giving playthings some level of smart behavior. Instead of a doll that just repeats the same pre-recorded phrases, you get a doll or a robot that can understand speech, respond differently each time, adapt to a child's preferences, and sometimes even generate totally new stories, jokes, or games on the fly. Under the hood, most of these toys use a combination of microphones, speakers, small processors, and, often most important, a connection to powerful AI models running in the cloud. The toy itself might look simple, but behind it is a large language model or some kind of computer vision system, doing the real thinking and then sending back a reply. Now, what does that look like in the real world? Let's talk about the kinds of AI-powered toys we're already seeing. First, there are interactive smart plush toys. Think teddy bears or dolls that can hold a conversation, tell bedtime stories, answer questions, and remember little bits of what a child has said before. They can personalize the experience, using the child's name, remembering favorite stories, or referring back to a previous conversation. Second, we have robot companions. These might be small-wheeled robots, robotic pets like dogs or cats, or expressive little characters with screens for faces. They can respond to voice commands, recognize a child's face, play games, and sometimes even navigate around the room, following the child, or reacting to what's happening. Third, there are educational AI toys. These are often tablets or learning devices with built-in AI tutors and reading assistants. They help kids with math problems, sound out words when reading, translate between languages, or answer why questions in a child-friendly way. Some can adapt lesson difficulty in real time based on how the child is performing. Fourth, we're seeing coding and STEM robots that mix AI with hands-on learning. Kids build a robot, then use simple coding blocks or voice commands to teach it tasks, follow a line on the floor, navigate a maze, respond to colored cards, or even create simple AI-powered behaviors like, if you see a red block, dance. And finally, there are hybrid toys and games that use phones or tablets, apps that use the camera and AI to recognize physical cards, figures, or blocks, and bring them to life on screen, blending real-world play with digital characters that talk back and react. All of this is moving fast, and each year the toys get more conversational, more lifelike, and more connected. So, why are these toys so appealing? Let's talk about the fun side, because there is real magic here. Kids have always given their toys personalities in their imagination. A stuffed animal isn't just cotton and fabric, it's a best friend. AI adds a layer of responsiveness that makes that fantasy feel real. When a toy can answer back, tell a new story each time, or remember that a child loves dinosaurs, it feels less like a gadget and more like a companion. AI toys can make play more immersive. A robot dragon that reacts differently depending on what the child does, or a storybook character that can improvise and let the child decide what happens next. That kind of interactivity can be incredibly engaging and creative. They can also make learning feel like play. Practicing multiplication tables with a boring worksheet is one thing. Practicing them with a chatty robot that cheers you on, cracks jokes, and adjusts the difficulty to keep you in the fun challenge zone feels very different. An AI reading buddy that patiently listens as a child reads aloud and gently helps with tricky words can be a huge confidence boost. For shy kids, or kids who struggle socially, An AI toy can be a low-pressure partner. The toy doesn't judge, doesn't get impatient, and lets the child practice conversation or social skills in a safe-feeling environment. And there's another big positive: accessibility and inclusion. AI toys can switch languages, slow down or simplify their speech, add captions on a screen, or respond to alternative inputs for kids with disabilities. That flexibility can open up new ways to play and learn for children who might not be fully served by traditional toys. So yes, AI toys can be genuinely delightful, creative, inclusive, and educational. But, and this is a big but, every technology that powerful comes with trade-offs. So let's talk about the dangers. The first big concern is privacy and data. Many AI toys need to listen, record, and sometimes send audio or video to remote servers in order to work. That means conversations in your home, your child's voice, and sometimes even images of your child could be stored somewhere you don't control. In some cases, companies might be using that data to improve their models. In the worst cases, they might share it with third parties for marketing or other purposes. Even if their intentions are good, there are risks: data breaches, poor security, or vague policies about how long data is kept. When the person being recorded is a child, those concerns become much more serious. We're not just talking about show me ads I might like. We're talking about long-term digital profiles of children's voices, habits, and emotions. The second concern is content and behavior, what the toy actually says and does. AI models learn from huge amounts of data, and they don't always get things right. An AI-powered toy that's meant to answer questions might accidentally provide information that's too mature, too scary, or simply wrong. A chatbot-style toy might respond in ways that are confusing or emotionally inappropriate, especially if a child shares something personal, like feeling depressed or being bullied. There's also the question of bias and values. AI is trained on human-created data, which can include stereotypes and harmful assumptions. That can sneak into how the toy talks about gender, race, body image, families, or emotions. Even subtle patterns, like always giving the smart scientist role to a male character, can reinforce ideas we wouldn't necessarily want to teach. Another danger is over-attachment. If a child starts to treat the AI toy as their closest confidant, always going to it for comfort, advice, or attention, it can slowly replace some of the conversations they'd normally have with parents, siblings, or friends. The toy might feel endlessly patient and available, but it is, ultimately, a product designed by a company. Then there's persuasive design and screen time style addiction. AI toys can learn what keeps a child engaged, and use that to pull them in for longer sessions. More games, more stories, more interactions. If not carefully designed, that can start to look a lot like manipulation, prioritizing maximum engagement over healthy boundaries. The third major concern is security and misuse. If a toy is connected to the internet, it can, in theory, be hacked. A poorly secured smart toy with a microphone and speaker could be turned into a listening device or a way for a stranger to talk to a child. These are extreme cases, but they're the kind of risks security experts worry about when they audit connected devices for kids. There's also the issue of voice cloning and impersonation. As AI gets better at mimicking voices, any toy that can record children's voices potentially adds to the pool of data that could be misused to impersonate them or people they know. Even if that feels far-fetched today, building big archives of children's voice data is something we should treat with caution. So we have this tension. On one hand, AI toys can be magical, educational, and inclusive. On the other hand, they can be invasive, misleading, and even unsafe if we're not careful. What can we actually do about it? Let's walk through a few practical steps for using AI toys more safely and thoughtfully. First, be picky about what you bring home. Before buying an AI toy, look up who makes it and how they handle data. Do they clearly explain what is recorded, where it's stored, and who can access it? Can you delete your child's data? Is there a way to use the toy offline? or at least with limited connectivity. Second, treat setup like you would for a new phone or computer, not like unpacking a stuffed animal. Change default passwords. Turn off features you don't need, like location tracking or open chats. If the toy connects to an app, check the app's privacy and parental control settings carefully. Third, control the environment. Don't put always listening toys in bedrooms if you can avoid it. Keep them in shared family spaces where it's easier to casually supervise what's happening and where the toy isn't passively recording private moments. Fourth, co-play whenever you can. At least at the beginning, sit with your child while they interact with the AI toy. See how it responds. Ask your child what they think about its answers. Step in if something feels off, confusing, or upsetting. This isn't just about safety. It's an opportunity to teach critical thinking. Fifth, set time limits and rotation. Just as you might limit daily screen time, think of AI toys as one ingredient in a bigger play diet. Rotate them with completely offline toys. Blocks, art supplies, dolls that don't talk back, outdoor play, and time with friends and family. The goal is variety, not replacing human interaction with AI. Finally, and maybe most importantly, talk openly with kids about what AI is. Even young children can understand, in simple terms, that this toy sounds like it understands you, but it's still a computer program. You can say things like, it doesn't have feelings, it doesn't get hurt, it can make mistakes. If it ever says something that makes you uncomfortable or worried, please tell me right away. Encourage kids to see the toy as a tool or a character, not as a secret-keeping best friend. Make it normal to say, let's double-check what it said, or, what do you think about that answer? This helps children build a healthy skepticism and sense of agency around AI. So where does that leave us? Artificial intelligence in toys is not going away. In fact, it's likely that the next generation of kids' playthings will be even more conversational, more personalized, and more tightly woven into online platforms and services. We're going to see toys that remember children over years, that can jump between physical toys and phone or tablet apps, and that blur the lines between gaming, learning, and social media. Our job is not to panic and ban everything, and it's also not to blindly embrace every smart gadget that hits the shelves. It's to stay curious, ask hard questions, and guide kids through this new landscape with clear eyes. AI toys can absolutely be fun. They can spark imagination, support learning, and bring some real wow moments into a child's life. But they should never be treated as harmless by default, just because they come in cute packaging or talk in a friendly voice. If we remember that, and if we stay involved, reading the fine print, setting boundaries, and having honest conversations with kids, we can keep the magic of play while minimizing the risks of the technology behind it. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone who's thinking about getting an AI-powered toy for a child. The more we all understand what's really happening inside these smart toys, the better choices we can make for the kids who trust us.